Commander Elias Hart sat in the captain's chair of the starship Odyssey, staring at the glowing screen that showed the planet below. Zithera, a world untouched by humans, yet alive with mysteries. The planet's surface shimmered in shades of green and purple, with storms that danced like ribbons across the sky. "Commander," said Lieutenant Mirasol, her voice steady but filled with excitement, "our scans show breathable air and minimal gravitational difference. It looks safe enough to land." Elias nodded, his fingers tapping lightly on the console. "Safe enough," he repeated, "is good for now. Let's see what's waiting for us." The landing was smooth, despite the strange turbulence created by the planet's energy currents. As the Odyssey touched down, the crew peered out at a forest of towering plants, their leaves glowing faintly like lanterns. The air smelled sweet but carried a hint of something sharp, almost metallic. Strange creatures, small and winged, darted through the trees. Their translucent wings reflected the dim light, creating a mesmerizing dance. Elias stepped off the ship first, his boots crunching softly on the purple soil. The crew followed, each taking in the alien landscape with equal parts wonder and caution. "Keep your scanners active," Elias instructed. "We don't know what lives here or what's watching us." They moved cautiously into the forest. At first, nothing happened. But then subtle signs began to appear. Vines twisted unnaturally, forming patterns that resembled symbols. Large stones, taller than any human, were etched with glowing glyphs. The crew's sensors could not read them, but the patterns seemed deliberate, intelligent. "Commander, look at this," said Dr. Anil Kumar, the ship's xenobiologist. He pointed to a massive tree whose bark shimmered like liquid metal. "It's alive, but not like anything we've studied. The energy readings are off the charts. Whatever lives here, it's advanced." Elias crouched to examine the base of the tree. Tiny pulses of light ran along the roots, almost like signals. "It's watching us," he said quietly. "Or at least sensing us." The crew exchanged nervous glances. They had prepared for unknown environments, but there was a difference between theory and facing it firsthand. Hours passed as they explored. The deeper they went, the more signs of intelligence appeared. Structures half hidden beneath vines hinted at cities or dwellings. Energy pulses emerged from the forest floor at regular intervals, as if sending messages in a language the humans could not yet understand. Then, without warning, the ground shook. Elias raised his hand to halt the crew. Trees bent violently, and a gust of wind carried a strange hum that resonated deep in their chests. A fissure opened nearby, and a massive creature emerged. It had 6 legs armored like crystal and eyes that glowed with an inner light. "Hold positions," Elias shouted. He raised his hand, signaling the crew to stay calm. The creature moved slowly but deliberately, its gaze fixed on them. It didn't attack, but the sheer presence was enough to make the humans feel small. The creature paused, then turned and disappeared into the forest, leaving a trail of shimmering footprints. That was incredible," whispered Mira. "It didn't even notice us. Or maybe it did and just ignored us?" Elias rubbed his chin, his mind working quickly. "Whatever it is, it's aware. That means this planet isn't just alive, it's intelligent. And we're visitors." They continued exploring, moving toward the strange energy pulses they had detected. As night fell, the forest lit up with soft glows, illuminating paths they hadn't noticed before. Bioluminescent plants stretched their tendrils toward the sky, creating a natural canopy of lights. It was beautiful, eerie, and completely alien. Suddenly, a low hum filled the air. The crew froze. From the shadows emerged beings unlike any they had imagined, tall, graceful, with bodies that seemed to shimmer and change color as they moved. Their eyes, large and glowing, reflected intelligence far beyond human understanding. "Commander," Dr. Kumar whispered, "we've found them, the inhabitants of Zithera." Elias stepped forward slowly, holding his hands open in a gesture of peace. "We come in friendship," he said, his voice calm but firm. The aliens didn't respond immediately. Instead, they observed the humans, tilting their heads and making subtle movements that reminded Elias of birds watching intruders. One of them stepped forward, taller than the rest, with a crown-like structure forming above its head. Its aura pulsed softly, like the planet itself was alive within it. Elias felt a strange sense of awe, as if this being could see directly into his mind. The creature spoke, not in words, but in a wave of thought. "You are brave to come here, yet your presence will be tested." Elias glanced at his crew. Fear flickered in their eyes, but he kept his expression calm. "We are ready for any test," he replied silently. projecting his own thoughts as clearly as he could. The alien observed him for a long moment, then nodded slightly. With a swift motion, it led the humans deeper into the glowing forest, guiding them toward a clearing where a massive structure rose from the ground. It seemed made of light and stone intertwined, with pathways floating in midair and bridges formed of shimmering energy. "This is their city," Mira breathed. "It's alive." Elias walked forward cautiously. "And so are they. Remember, we observe first, act second. We don't know their rules yet." The aliens didn't speak again. Instead, they circled the humans, examining them carefully. Elias felt a sense of scrutiny unlike anything he had experienced. The aliens seemed to understand intentions, weighing courage, honesty, and perhaps even morality. As the humans rested near a calm pool of luminous water, Elias reflected on what he had seen. These beings were far more advanced than any humans had ever encountered. Yet there was something familiar, something in the way they moved, the way they observed, that suggested empathy, understanding, and intelligence shaped by patience rather than aggression. Hours turned into a day. The humans learned to move with care, to touch nothing unnecessarily, and to respect the energy currents that flowed through the city. Every action mattered. Every choice was noticed. By evening, Elias stood at the edge of the clearing, looking at the horizon where the planet's twin moons rose. He felt a mixture of fear and excitement. Zithra was alive, intelligent, and powerful, yet he also felt a strange confidence, a sense that humans, despite being new and fragile in this world, could hold their own. "Commander," Dr. Kumar said softly, "do you think they'll accept us?" Elias looked at the aliens moving gracefully in the distance. "I don't know," he admitted. "But I do know this: we didn't come here to conquer. We came to understand, and that might be enough to earn their respect." As night fell, the forest glowed brighter, and the humans felt a sense of connection to this alien world they had never imagined possible. For the first time, Elias felt the weight of what it meant to explore not just new lands, but new hearts, new minds, and new possibilities. He didn't yet know the trials ahead, nor the dangers lurking in the shadows. But one thing was clear: Zithra had noticed them, and the humans would have to rise to the challenge if they wished to survive, and perhaps if they were brave enough to thrive. Elias took a deep breath and looked at his crew. "Rest well tonight," he said. The morning light on Zithra revealed the forest in new shades of purple and green. Mist hovered above the glowing plants, and the hum of alien energy filled the air like a song. Commander Elias Hart stood at the edge of the clearing, his eyes scanning the strange city ahead. The structures floated on energy streams, and pathways shimmered as though made from liquid light. "We need to proceed carefully," Elias said, turning to his crew. "Every step we take could matter. These beings are observing us already." Lieutenant Mira Sol adjusted her gear nervously. "They've been watching us all night," she said. "Do you think they mean harm?" Elias shook his head. "I don't think so, not yet. But they are testing us in their own way, and we have to show them we are worthy." The aliens had not attacked, but they had made their presence clear. They were everywhere, gliding silently among the energy bridges, their shimmering forms blending with the light. Elias could feel their awareness like a weight pressing gently on his mind. Yet strangely, it was not hostile. Dr. Anil Kumar, the ship's xenobiologist, whispered, "They are intelligent, far beyond anything we've encountered, but they seem curious about us, not afraid." Elias nodded. "Curiosity can be dangerous when combined with power. Let's make sure we don't give them a reason to see us as a threat." The crew followed the aliens along one of the floating pathways. It felt as though the ground had vanished, leaving only light beneath their feet. The air shimmered, and Elias realized that the entire city pulsed with energy. It was alive, not in the way a forest or an animal is alive, but as a conscious, intelligent being might be. Then, in the center of the city, they saw her, the alien queen. She was taller than any human, with a body that seemed to flow like liquid light. Her skin shimmered with colors that shifted with her mood. A crown-like structure hovered above her head, glowing softly with every pulse of her energy. Her eyes were deep pools of light, reflecting knowledge, age, and power beyond comprehension. Elias felt a shiver of awe. This was no ordinary encounter. This was meeting a being who had seen civilizations rise and fall, who had witnessed the rise of stars and the birth of worlds. The queen spoke, but not with words. The sound resonated directly in Elias's mind, clear and calm. "You are brave, human. Yet bravery alone is not enough, Elias steadied himself. He had faced dangers before, on missions that pushed human limits. But this was different. He replied carefully, projecting his thoughts as clearly as he could. We seek understanding. We mean no harm. The Queen's eyes seemed to study him, looking past his physical form into the core of his being. Then she motioned with a hand and the pathway before them transformed. Holographic images floated in the air, scenes of past civilizations, planets conquered, worlds destroyed. Elias realized the Queen was showing them history, tests of civilizations that had failed. Many have come here, her voice echoed in his mind. Few have survived the trials. Some fell to fear, some to pride, some to greed. Elias glanced at his crew. Mira's hands were clenched, Anil's eyes wide with wonder. They had trained for danger, for unknown worlds, but this was a test of something deeper. Not strength, not weapons, but heart. You must prove your worth, the Queen continued. Not with power, not with weapons, but with courage, with wisdom, and with your heart. Elias nodded slowly. We understand, he projected. We will show you who we are, not as conquerors, but as humans. The Queen regarded him silently for a moment, then waved her hand. The air shimmered, and the humans found themselves in a new space, a chamber suspended in light. It had no floor or walls, only a gentle glow that seemed to support them in midair. This is the first trial, the Queen's voice echoed. Face it, and you will show your heart. Suddenly, illusions appeared around them. The crew saw walls of fire, collapsing platforms, and monstrous creatures emerging from the mist. It was terrifying, yet unreal. Elias realized the challenge was not real in a physical sense. It was a test of courage and composure. Stay together, Elias said quietly. Focus on each other, not the illusions. They want to see how we react. The illusions intensified. A massive chasm opened beneath their feet, glowing with molten light. A creature with multiple heads lunged at them, its roar deafening. Mira froze in fear, but Elias grabbed her hand. Focus on me, he shouted. This isn't real, stay calm. We can get through this together. Slowly, Mira nodded, drawing strength from his steady presence. The illusion shifted again, now showing a scenario of betrayal. A crew member appeared to turn against the others, leaving them to fall into the abyss. Elias felt the Queen's test probing their loyalty, their moral choices. Will you protect each other even when it is dangerous? Her voice whispered. Elias took a deep breath. He placed his hand over his chest. We protect each other, always. The illusions dissolved, leaving them suspended in the calm light of the chamber. The Queen stepped closer, her glowing form enveloping them in warmth rather than fear. You show courage, human, but courage alone does not define your heart. Elias looked at her, feeling both humility and pride. Then tell us what we must do, he projected. We will face it, whatever it is. The Queen's eyes softened, and she gestured. A bridge of light formed, leading to a platform above them. On it lay a small alien child, trapped by energy tendrils that seemed impossible to touch. The child's glow flickered, and Elias realized this was the final part of the trial. Not illusions, but a real test of courage and compassion. Without hesitation, Elias stepped forward. I'll go first, he said. He approached carefully, feeling the energy pulses around him. Each step required concentration, and the tendrils reacted to fear. But Elias pushed forward, steadying his heart and mind. As he reached the child, he extended his hand. The tendrils recoiled slightly, as if sensing his intent. With careful movements, he untangled the energy, freeing the child without harm. The child's glow stabilized, bright and warm. The Queen watched silently, then spoke in his mind. You act with courage, wisdom, and care. You are not just brave. Your heart is different. Elias looked at her, unsure what she meant. Different? He projected. Yes, she replied. Most beings act out of fear or desire. You act with understanding, with empathy, with heart. The humans felt a wave of relief and wonder. They had passed the trial, not through strength or technology, but through courage, empathy, and the protection of others. The Queen's presence seemed to relax, her energy shifting from intense scrutiny to calm approval. Rest now, she said. Tomorrow will bring greater challenges, but you have shown promise. Your heart may guide you where others have failed. Elias nodded slowly. Thank you, he projected. We will honor your trust. The crew gathered, still awed and slightly shaken by the trial. Mira looked at Elias. Commander, that was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. Elias smiled faintly, exhausted but proud. Neither have I, but we have to remember this is just the beginning. Zithra is not just a planet. It is a living, thinking world, and it will test us again. Dr. Kumar, ever the scientist, was already examining the energy pulses around them. This place, it's more than alive. It adapts, it learns. Our presence here may change it, and it will challenge us in ways we cannot yet imagine. The calm of Zithra's glowing city was broken one morning by an unnatural vibration in the air. Commander Elias Hart stood at the edge of a floating platform, scanning the horizon. The energy streams that held the city aloft pulsed faster than normal, and faint trails of smoke appeared in the distance. Commander? Lieutenant Mirasol said, pointing to the sky. There's something approaching. Sensors can't identify it clearly, but it's massive. Elias narrowed his eyes. Hold positions and keep calm. Let's get more data. Dr. Anil Kumar adjusted his instruments, his voice tense. I've never seen energy signatures like this. It's not native to Zithra, it's aggressive. From the horizon, dark shapes moved quickly, cutting through the glowing atmosphere. These were no ordinary spacecraft. Sleek, sharp, and threatening, they glimmered with a dark energy unlike anything humans had encountered. Elias immediately recognized the danger. The Vraxians, he said quietly, a chill running through him. They've found us. The Vraxians were a ruthless alien species known for conquering worlds. Where they arrived, fear and chaos followed. Unlike Zithra's intelligent and careful inhabitants, the Vraxians relied on aggression, power, and intimidation. Elias realized that his crew and the alien city faced an enemy vastly stronger in numbers and technology. The alien queen appeared beside them, her luminous form radiating calm determination. They come for our energy. They seek to dominate. You must help us, human, Elias nodded. We'll do what we can. The humans and aliens quickly organized defenses. The city itself could shift, floating higher or forming barriers, but the Vraxians were relentless. Their ships moved in precise formations, cutting through the protective energy fields of Zithra's city. Elias studied the city's architecture and energy flow. We can't fight them head-on. We have to use the city's abilities, combine them with our technology, and think creatively. That's how humans survive. The crew split into teams. Mira and Anil worked with alien engineers to modify human weapons to interact with Zithra's energy currents. Elias coordinated with alien strategists, learning how to manipulate the city's floating platforms to create defensive mazes. The first clash began as Vraxian scouts approached a lower platform. Human-made sensors, modified to work with alien energy, triggered traps. Energy tendrils shot from the ground, immobilizing the scouts. Aliens swooped in, capturing some while the humans redirected energy streams to block others. The humans felt the thrill of battle, but also the weight of responsibility. Every decision could mean life or death for the crew and the alien citizens. Yet despite the danger, they discovered something remarkable. Human ingenuity could amplify the planet's natural defenses. Look at this, Dr. Kumar shouted, adjusting the settings on a device that converted alien energy into a magnetic field. The Vraxian ships faltered as their weapons were deflected. We're not just defending, we're adapting. Elias smiled faintly. This is what humans do best. We think, we adapt, and we turn challenges into opportunities. But the Vraxians were relentless. Larger ships emerged, bristling with weapons. Their dark energy cut through barriers, threatening to overwhelm the city. Panic began to spread among some of the alien defenders. Elias realized that courage alone would not be enough. Strategy and inspiration were needed. He climbed to a higher platform, addressing both humans and aliens. We've faced dangers before in ways no one expected. Stay calm, work together. Trust your heart and your mind. We can outsmart them. The aliens, inspired by Elias's determination, reorganized their defenses. They learned from the humans' quick thinking, combining their energy manipulation with human tactics. The city became a living battlefield, platforms shifting and flowing like water, guiding enemies into traps and away from vulnerable areas. In the midst of battle, Elias noticed a small squad of Vraxians attempting to breach a core energy conduit, the heart of the city. If it was destroyed, the city would collapse. Without hesitation, he grabbed a modified energy harness and jumped onto the moving platforms, weaving through enemy fire. The energy pulses beneath his feet responded to his presence, amplifying his movements. He ducked, dodged, and redirected enemy fire, allowing alien defenders to flank the intruders. With a calculated move, Elias severed the Vraxian access to the conduit, saving the city's core. Mira ran beside him, her hands steady as she adjusted the energy deflectors.
"Commander, this is insane!"
she shouted. "But it's working." Elias grinned. "That's humans for you. We find a way when there seems to be none." The battle raged on for hours. The humans discovered that their creativity and adaptability made them unpredictable. Vraxian ships were used to direct assault tactics. Humans, however, combined strategy, intuition, and improvisation, turning the tide of small engagements. They were not stronger, but they were smarter in ways the enemy could not anticipate. At one point, a massive Vraxian destroyer loomed over the city. Its energy cannon could wipe out entire platforms. Elias realized that brute force would fail. Instead, he directed alien engineers to create a series of cascading energy reflections, using the city's floating bridges as mirrors. When the cannon fired, the energy was redirected harmlessly into the sky. The Vraxians were stunned. Elias saw the moment of hesitation and signaled the allied defenders to strike. Together, humans and aliens drove the Vraxians back, yet victory was only partial. The Vraxians retreated, regrouping for a second assault. Elias and his crew knew this was only the beginning. The battle had shown the strength of human courage and ingenuity, but the enemy was persistent and merciless. After the first wave, Elias met with the Queen in a quiet chamber within the city. Her glowing eyes reflected both gratitude and concern. "You have done well," she said, her voice gentle yet commanding. "Humans are not just brave, they are clever. But the Vraxians will not stop. They will learn from this encounter." Elias nodded. "Then we must continue to adapt. We can't rely on strength alone. We have to think, plan, and inspire. That's what humans do. That's what we've always done." "Yes," the Queen replied. "Your heart and mind together make you dangerous in a way few others are. Zithra will remember this. And so will I." The humans returned to their posts, exhausted but determined. Each crew member understood that survival on Zithra depended not just on courage, but on ingenuity, quick thinking, and cooperation with a species far beyond their own. As night fell, Elias stood at the edge of the city, looking out at the distant horizon where the Vraxians would return. He felt the weight of responsibility, yet also a sense of pride. Humans were small, fragile, and inexperienced in the universe, but they had qualities that no weapon could replace: courage, heart, and intelligence. Mira joined him silently. "Do you really think we can hold them off?" she asked. Elias looked at the glowing platforms and the alien defenders working alongside his crew. The first light of Zithra's twin suns bathed the floating city in soft shades of gold and violet. Commander Elias Hart stood at the edge of a high platform, his eyes following the distant trails of energy where the Vraxian forces had retreated. Though the immediate danger had passed, the threat remained. Elias knew that the next attack would be stronger, smarter, and more dangerous. "Commander," Lieutenant Mirasol said, approaching him with a tablet in hand. "Our sensors indicate the Vraxians are regrouping on the far side of the energy belts. They're repairing their ships and preparing for a coordinated assault." Elias nodded. "Then we prepare too. Not just defenses, but strategy. And not just strategy, we inspire. Humans are small in the universe, but we have something rare: courage, creativity, and heart. That's how we survive." Dr. Anil Kumar joined them, eyes wide as he scanned the energy flows around the city. "Commander, the city itself is responding to us differently than before. It seems attuned to our actions. It's as if it senses our intentions and adjusts accordingly." Elias smiled faintly. "Then we use that. We act with purpose, with courage, and the city will follow. Zithra is alive, but we can work with it, not against it." The next few hours were spent preparing. Humans worked alongside the alien engineers, blending their technology with Zithra's natural energy. They created flexible energy barriers, traps that used light and gravity, and decoy platforms to mislead the Vraxians. Elias moved among the teams, inspiring calm and determination. "You've done incredible work," he told them. "But remember, our strength is not just in these devices. It's in our ability to think, to adapt, and to act with heart. That's something no machine can replicate." By mid-afternoon, the Vraxians returned. Their ships glided into the city's perimeter, weapons bristling and energy pulses sharp like blades. But this time, humans and aliens were ready. Elias directed his crew to use the energy barriers to channel the Vraxians' ships into narrow corridors where their numbers counted for less. Aliens swooped to intercept smaller fighters, while humans modified their energy cannons to interact with the city's flow, creating illusions of platforms that didn't exist. The Vraxians struck at shadows, wasting power and time. During the battle, a new challenge emerged. A squadron of Vraxians had infiltrated the inner city, targeting the energy conduits that powered the platforms. Elias realized that brute force could not stop them. They would reach the conduits if he didn't act. He grabbed an energy harness and raced through the floating bridges. Each step required precise timing as the conduits pulsed unpredictably. The infiltrators reacted quickly, but Elias moved with determination, dodging attacks and redirecting energy pulses to protect both his crew and the alien citizens. As he neared the core, he saw Mira confronting a small Vraxian group. Without hesitation, Elias joined her, combining human agility and strategy with the aliens' abilities. Together, they outmaneuvered the intruders, trapping them in a containment field. Then came the hardest part. One of the Vraxians aimed a devastating energy blast at the core. Elias realized that stopping it would require splitting his attention between defending the conduit and guiding alien defenders. He closed his eyes for a moment and focused, relying on instincts honed by years of leadership and the trust he had built with both his crew and the aliens. With a precise move, he redirected the blast into an empty corridor, saving the city. Mira and Anil helped stabilize the energy flow, and the remaining Vraxians retreated. The inner city was safe, for now. After the battle, the crew regrouped. Exhaustion weighed on them, but their spirits were high. Elias addressed both humans and aliens. "You saw what we can do when we work together," he said. "The Vraxians are strong, but they rely on fear and aggression. We rely on courage, intelligence, and heart. That's our advantage. Remember it." The alien queen appeared before them, her luminous form brighter than ever. "You have shown strength beyond mere courage," she said. "You inspire those around you. You lead not with force, but with understanding. This is rare even among advanced beings." Elias bowed his head respectfully. "We learn from you as well," he projected. "Zithra has shown us that strength is not just in power, but in unity and compassion." The queen's eyes softened. "Tomorrow the Vraxians will return with full force. It will be the greatest challenge yet. But I see now that humans are not like other beings. You fight not for conquest, but for what is right, and that may be enough to change everything." Elias felt the weight of her words. The coming battle would not just test strength or technology, it would test their hearts. Humans had always faced impossible odds, yet their courage, adaptability, and empathy had carried them through. This was no different. That night, Elias walked alone along a floating bridge, looking at the glowing forest below. He thought about humanity's journey, how humans had survived on a fragile planet, explored the stars, and faced dangers beyond comprehension. Their greatest weapons were not ships or energy beams, but their courage, their minds, and their hearts. Mira joined him silently. "Do you think we can win tomorrow?" she asked. Elias looked at her, then at the glowing city. "Win?" he said softly. "It's not about winning. It's about surviving, protecting, and inspiring. If we act with courage and heart, we can change the outcome. That's what humans do." Dr. Kumar appeared beside them. "Commander, I've been analyzing the Vraxians' patterns. They rely on fear and intimidation. Humans are unpredictable to them. That unpredictability is a strength. We can turn it against them." Elias nodded. "Exactly. The Vraxians expect fear, aggression, and surrender. They won't understand empathy, creativity, or courage. That's our advantage. We fight not just to survive, but to show them that strength comes in many forms." The following morning, the Vraxians launched their final assault. It was a coordinated strike, combining massive ships with infiltration squads targeting energy nodes throughout the city. The humans and aliens were ready. Elias coordinated teams like a conductor leading an orchestra. Human ingenuity and alien energy manipulation blended seamlessly. Platforms shifted, energy barriers redirected attacks, and decoy pathways confused the enemy. Humans demonstrated ingenuity, thinking ahead, predicting the Vraxians' moves and using the city itself as a tool. During the chaos, Elias noticed a young alien child trapped on a crumbling platform. just as he had during the first trial. Without hesitation, he leaped through the danger, extending his hand and guiding the child to safety. Mira and Anil joined him, ensuring that no one was left behind. "You act with bravery and care," the Queen's voice resonated in his mind. "Your heart leads your actions. This is rare." Elias realized then that victory was not about destroying the Vraxians, but about protecting life and inspiring allies. Humans had a quality the Vraxians could not comprehend: moral courage. They would fight not for power but for others, for what was right. By the end of the battle, the Vraxians were repelled. They retreated into the distant skies, leaving Zithara intact. The humans and aliens celebrated quietly, exhausted but relieved. The city pulsed with light, as if acknowledging the courage, ingenuity, and heart that had defended it. The Queen appeared once more before Elias. "You have proven what your kind is capable of," she said. "Not just strength, not just courage, but wisdom and heart. These qualities make humans formidable allies and rare beings in the universe." Elias bowed. "We are honored," he projected. "We have learned much from you and Zithara, and we will continue to act with courage and heart wherever we go." The Queen nodded. "Rest now. The universe is vast and your journey has just begun. But know this, humans are different. Your heart is rare and it can change everything it touches." Elias turned to his crew, smiling despite the exhaustion. "We did it," he said quietly. "Not with brute force, not with weapons alone, but with heart, ingenuity, and courage. That's what humans do, and that's what we will continue to do." As night fell over Zithara, the city glowed brighter than ever. Humans had shown not only their bravery, but their ability to inspire, to think, and to protect. And somewhere in the luminous depths of the city, the alien Queen watched, her respect for humans growing. Elias looked at the glowing horizon and whispered, "Tomorrow the universe will see what humans are truly capable of. And it all begins with heart." The twin suns of Zithara barely rose above the horizon when Commander Elias Hart stood on the highest platform of the floating city. The air shimmered with anticipation. Today the Vraxians would return, not just with scouts or small squadrons, but with their full force. Every ship, every soldier, every weapon of destruction would be unleashed to claim the planet's energy. Elias looked at his crew, tired yet determined. "This is it," he said. "We've prepared, we've learned, and we've inspired. Now we fight not just to survive, but to protect this world, and to show that courage and heart are stronger than fear." Lieutenant Mirasol adjusted her gear. "Do you think we can hold them off?" Elias smiled faintly. "We're not just holding them off. We're showing the universe what humans are capable of, and that starts with heart." Dr. Anil Kumar checked the energy flows one last time. "Commander, the city is responding. It's stronger, more focused, and it seems aware of our intentions. If we act together, we might just stand a chance." The first signs of the Vraxians appeared as dark specks on the horizon. Within moments, they became massive ships bristling with weapons, energy shields flickering, and cannons ready to fire. Elias felt a surge of determination. The previous battles had prepared them, but this would be their greatest test yet. "Positions," Elias shouted. "Use the energy currents, redirect the attacks, and remember, courage and heart guide every move. Trust yourselves, trust each other." The battle began with a roar of energy. Vraxian ships fired relentlessly, but the humans and their alien allies were ready. Platforms shifted, reflecting energy, creating illusions to mislead enemy targeting systems. Energy barriers formed quickly, protecting civilians and critical structures. Elias and Mira worked side by side, coordinating with alien defenders. "Redirect that blast into the sky," Elias commanded. A massive Vraxian cannon fired, but the redirected energy harmlessly exploded far away. "Now the flank," he shouted, pointing to a group of enemy ships approaching from the side. Human ingenuity combined with alien energy manipulation. They used decoy platforms, holographic illusions, and traps that exploited the Vraxians' reliance on aggression. Each move required precision, timing, and courage. During the chaos, Elias noticed a group of Vraxians attempting to destroy the city's central energy core. If it fell, the entire city could collapse. Without hesitation, Elias grabbed a harness and moved along a narrow floating bridge, dodging blasts of energy and shifting platforms. Mira followed, directing the alien defenders to intercept the intruders. As Elias reached the core, a massive Vraxian commander appeared. Its energy weapon aimed directly at the heart of the city. Elias thought quickly. Instead of attacking, he created a diversion, using a combination of human tools and Zithra's energy. The enemy hesitated, confused by the unpredictable tactics. Elias seized the moment, redirecting the weapon harmlessly while alien soldiers captured the intruder. "You act with wisdom and courage," the Queen's voice resonated in his mind. "Your heart guides your actions." Few beings combine strength, mind, and heart so perfectly. Elias felt the weight of her words, but he had no time to dwell. The battle continued, with humans and aliens working seamlessly. Each obstacle was met with ingenuity. Each Vraxian attack was countered with strategy and adaptability. In the midst of the battle, Elias spotted a small Vraxian ship attempting a direct strike on a platform where alien children and young citizens had gathered. Without hesitation, he took a smaller human craft, weaving through enemy fire. He guided the civilians to safety, demonstrating courage, quick thinking, and selflessness. Mira and Anil followed, helping to stabilize the energy currents beneath the fleeing civilians. Together, humans and aliens ensured that no life was lost despite the relentless attack. Hours passed. Exhaustion weighed on everyone, but Elias reminded them with a calm voice, "Courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting despite it. Every life we protect, every strategy we execute, is a victory." Finally, the Vraxians, realizing that the humans' unpredictability and the combined human-alien defenses made victory impossible, began to retreat. The city had held. Zithra was safe, not because of superior force, but because of courage, intelligence, teamwork, and heart. The city pulsed with light, almost as if it were breathing relief. The Queen appeared before Elias, her luminous form brighter than ever. "You have done more than survive," she said. "You have inspired, protected, and led. Your courage is unmatched, and your heart guides your actions. I see now why your kind is rare in the universe." Elias bowed his head respectfully. "We are honored to serve and to protect. Humans are not the strongest, but we strive to act with heart and courage in every challenge." The Queen's eyes softened. "You have shown that strength comes not from power alone, but from empathy, wisdom, and sacrifice. Your heart is truly brave." Mira stepped forward. "Commander, she actually said it. Humans have something the Vraxians don't understand." Elias nodded. "Yes, our strength isn't just weapons or numbers. It's our heart, our courage, and our willingness to protect and inspire others. That's what makes us dangerous to those who rely on fear." The Queen looked at the humans and their alien allies. "Zithra will remember this day, and so will I. Humans are rare beings capable of shaping the course of events through courage, heart, and wisdom." Elias felt a sense of pride, but also humility. They had survived, but more importantly, they had shown what humanity could do when faced with impossible odds. The Vraxians had underestimated them, not knowing that humans fight not just for themselves, but for others. The crew gathered around, exhausted but triumphant. The aliens celebrated quietly, their glowing forms radiating relief and respect. Elias addressed them all. "Today we defended not just a city, but a world. We showed that courage, ingenuity, and heart are stronger than fear and aggression. Humans may be small in the universe, but we have qualities that cannot be measured by strength alone, and that, my friends, is our greatest weapon." Dr. Kumar smiled, eyes gleaming. "Commander, it's true. Humans survive and thrive not by power alone, but by heart. That's why the Vraxians couldn't predict us." The Queen stepped closer to Elias, her voice gentle. "Your heart is the bravest here. You have shown courage, wisdom, and care. You are a rare being in the universe, and your kind may shape it in ways even you cannot yet imagine." Elias felt a warmth fill him, a mix of pride, relief, and understanding. "Thank you," he projected. "We will honor that trust and continue to act with courage, heart, and wisdom wherever we go." The city's glow intensified as if responding to his words. Aliens and humans alike felt a shared connection, a bond forged through trials, courage, and mutual respect. Zithra had become more than a mission. It was a symbol of what humans could achieve, not through domination, but through heart, intelligence, and bravery. That night, the crew stood on the highest platform, looking at the twin suns setting behind the glowing forest. Elias reflected on their journey. Humanity had faced countless dangers, from fragile homeworlds to the vastness of space. Yet time and again, humans had relied on courage, ingenuity, and moral strength to survive. Now on an alien world, facing beings far stronger and more advanced. They had succeeded again, not through weapons but through heart. And the universe had noticed. Mira looked at Elias. Do you think we'll ever be back here? Elias smiled faintly. Perhaps. But what matters is that today we showed who humans truly are. Brave, compassionate, and capable of inspiring even the most advanced beings. That's a